I couldn't find it. Which reminds me, we have people help us with our remarks. And this long-time politician was reading a speech, and he was going great guns. And he got to page 3, and this big blank page, it says, "Now you're on your own, you son of a bitch." So I found I've learned that being undocumented is more than just a word. It's a situation where someone's afraid to go to the store, 7-Eleven. It's nighttime. You need some milk for the kids. Maybe a loaf of bread. But you're afraid to go. It'd be better if you stay in. Because if you go out, you may not be able to come back to the family. So what happens is people wind up suffering in silence. Now, if this were just a few people, I guess we could figure a way to rationalize that. In our great country, we have a situation that we have people who have spent years of their lives with their head down, not willing to look up to what the future might be. They just need to make it through a day at a time. This has been an education for me. And we are educated in many different ways. A few years ago, a young woman would come to my campaign events, and she was always there. And she started giving me little notes, and I would take them home, and I would read them. They were really heart-rending. So on the day that bill passed, the bipartisan bill for comprehensive immigration reform passed, I told a remarkable story about this education I received from this woman named Astrid. She doesn't remember anything about Mexico where she was born. She remembers everything about coming to America. She came in a little boat with her mom. She had on her rosary cross, a little doll. She was 4 years old. The current was swift. Her mother was scared. But they got across the river, found a place that they could come across and do her new home, America, the only home she's ever known. She, of course, cried, as anyone would, after going in a little boat and see that water rushing around you. She's one of those people that is an activist. She decided she wanted to change the status quo. And in her letters and in my conversations with her, she asked me to try to do something. And we did. As the leader of the Senate, I spent more time bringing legislation before any of immigration reform than any other issue. And we've had a lot of other issues. Jim Wallace, very large. Jim's a wonderful man. He's been such an inspiration to all of us. So thank you for that introduction. But so passing comprehensive immigration reform was wonderful. I was up in the balcony. Astrid was there. She had never been in an airplane before. Part of keeping her head down and staying away from everything, especially airports. But she came back because we had, by that time, had been able to do some good things. You know, this deferred status of the president is quite a remarkable thing. It has allowed people to come out of the shadows. Not everybody, a lot of people. We expect a couple million before this is all over. And this has changed her life and the life of her family. Her dad had a little problem, and we were able to resolve that. But some of the things that she's been able to do for her family, let's just talk about her dad. He is a great baseball fan. So Astrid surprised him yesterday and got him a ticket on Saturday to watch the New York Yankees. So that's what it's all about, coming out of these shadows. Now, Astrid's story, sadly, is not unique. People who need to be helped are 11 million people are undocumented. Now, we have not the ability physically or fiscally to deport these people. So, why don't we do something that's reasonable? We want pathway to citizenship. But we can talk about how fair that is. It's the right thing to do in this great country of opportunity and ours. But all those people who are naysayers, why don't we say, but in addition to that, we reduce the debt by $1 trillion. How about that? The things that Astrid has done have been very courageous. Scary, because she'd raised her head and she'd come out of the shadows. Every time she came out of the shadows, she was subject to being snatched and taken back to a place she never knew. So Astrid, I'm very proud of you for so many different reasons. Most of all, the education you helped give me. So I will always remember you, always as someone who changed my life.
I think sometimes that these types of recognitions, they're not for me, they're not for my mom or dad. They're for the people back home that come every single day to us and they tell us about how their husband was deported or how they're really scared because they had to check in with ICE and their kids are crying because they had to come home and they weren't there when their kids got home from school because ICE got them. You know, when people found out about this award, they were really excited. And one of my volunteers, she made me a bracelet, and when she was making it, she said, "I'm making this for you because I haven't seen my daughter in 18 years. She's never met her grandchild because she came here for a better life." And I think, thankfully, my parents were able to come with me, and they were here in the country, but there's so many of these people that will never see their families again. The reason that I started writing Senator Reid letters was because my grandmother passed away, and I couldn't be there, and we were very close. And now I think about it, and I think, you know, I lost my grandmother that day, and shortly after I wrote Senator Reid a letter, and I don't think that I lost my grandmother because I think that I gained not only an amazing, amazing grandfather figure. He's a little young to be my grandpa. But I gained an entire family because I met people who, like I said, they come and now they come and tell me and they say, "You said you weren't documented and I want to do it too because I can't hide anymore. I can't be afraid to go to the store. I can't be afraid." And the family that I have gained through this is much more than I could ever imagine. And more than anything is that ability to say, I know where I came from, and you never forget where you're from. It could be a small mining town in the middle of Nevada. It could be a small town in Mexico. It could be halfway across the world. But your family is your home, and that's what matters, and that's why they should make so that our families can stay together and me. So that other kids can have their dreams come true, and their dreams be a baseball game, their dreams be going to college, their dreams shouldn't be that their parents aren't taken away. Thank you very much.